Welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. Now, this Audi A3 might look like a standard Audi A3, but it's not, because this one can do 88 miles without using any petrol. And unlike most plug-in hybrids, this one you can rapid charge it too. This is the new Audi A3 40 TFSI-e. It's got a much bigger battery and enough range for most people to do all the everyday stuff. Now, this one is available from £39,947 from a Vertu dealership at the time of filming this video. So could this car give you the best from both worlds at a very good price? Let's have a look. Now, this is the S-Line, so it's got a much sportier look. At the front, you've got a large single frame grille, you've got much larger air intakes and new LED lights. And then if you come around the corner, you get this 18-inch alloys, which come as standard with the S-Line. And it has kept his traditional sporty look as you come around and you can see it. It's still kept that sports back kind of familiar look that everybody, knows the Audi A3 for, which I love. And also the roof line, it's got that like slopier style as you go towards the rear. And at the back, you've got the rear lights, LED lights with dynamic indicators, and it also comes with the S-Line rear bumper, which is a bit sportier. Now, the boot gives you about 281 litres of space with the seats up. The floor isn't fixed, but there isn't much space underneath there. And if you put the seats down, you get about 1100 litres of space. Now, I know that might not sound like a lot, but this is a family hatchback, so I think that's plenty. Under the bonnet, we've got a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine paired with an electric motor, which gives you around 204 PS, 350 Newton meters of torque. But performance isn't the most interesting thing in this car, and I'll show you what it is. Because this one has a 19 kilowatt hour battery, usable, gives you around 88 miles of range. But that's not even the most interesting part. It's this one. You can rapid charge it, which is so unusual for a plug-in hybrid. So you can rapid charge it up to 50 kilowatt, and Audi claims you can do 10 to 80% in about 2.5 hours. And if you use a 11 kilowatt charger, in about 7 hours. What do you think about that? So inside the car, it's a very recognizable like A3 interior style. You've got a 10-inch virtual cockpit in front of you, but because this is a plug-in hybrid, you've got another screen over here which kind of gives you all your charging stats and efficiency. Actually, it's pretty cool. You've got an e-tron mode, so if you go on there, you've got a EV version, and then you also have the auto hybrid, which we'll talk about a bit later. Steering wheel, it's pretty light, rounded, pretty much leather all around. It does have a little bit of black piano over here, but not too much. And one thing I love, it has buttons. So it's not all screens. The screens are fairly small as well, which I actually really like. And then it's got just simple buttons. And I love that they brought that back. Seats, you've got leather seats, electric lumbar, heated seats, not ventilated though. Actually, one feature I really like, if your car is plugged in, let's say you've got a home charger and your car is plugged in, you've got My Audi app, you can actually control the climate in your car. So you could turn the aircon on and have it nice and cool for when you're ready to get in the car, or nice and toasty. But yeah, so this is the S-Line version, so you do get that like, it's got that sportier look, the sportier seats and steering. But yeah, it's pretty similar to the previous A3s. In the back, there's quite a lot of space over here, and I'm 5'7" for reference, enough headroom. Pretty spacious. You get 2 USB-C plugs over there, and also you get an armrest with 2 cup holders. I think this is where the Audi A3 TFSI starts to make a lot of sense, because right now I'm driving in EV mode. We get about 88 miles of range, and this isn't like one of those typical plug-in hybrids where you drive for like 20-30 miles and then it switches to petrol. No, so you could be doing most of your driving like this in EV mode, and then when you need petrol, all you got to do is accelerate and then it switches to petrol, and it's as easy as that. And that's one thing I really like this car is like how smooth that transition is from electric to petrol. Just because you're driving a hybrid car, it shouldn't feel like a hybrid car. You should find a way to drive this car, like you should find the most efficient way to drive this car, and then you shouldn't have to think about it anymore. So right now we're getting about 204 PS, 350 Newton meters of torque, so it isn't extremely fast, but I feel like for an everyday car, for what this car is, it's, you know, actually really good. That's the argument with this car. If you've got somewhere to charge at home or at work, you could be doing most of your everyday drive in EV mode, and you probably could go days without using any petrol at all. And then if you suddenly have to go somewhere really far and, you know, you're stressed that you have to plan your route and find charges and things like that, you don't. You've got your petrol engine, you've got, you know, as a backup if you need to. And a really good thing about this car, if you were looking to get a car through salary sacrifice, for example, this sits within the lowest benefit in kind band. So you could get it for really cheap. And actually look into this, because most providers could also offer you things like your maintenance, insurance, breakdown cover, even a home charger, all included within that monthly price. So if your job is offering you that kind of perk, why not make the most of it? You also do get the Audi Drive Select, so you can change how the car responds however you want. But at the moment, so you can have it in full EV mode, or you can have it in hybrid mode. So usually starts with like an EV, and the more you start to accelerate, then it switches to petrol. At the moment, I have it on full EV mode, and I'm pretty happy with that. It's really interesting because for some reason, a lot of OEMs decided to move, you know, away from having physical buttons in the car and things like that, and have screens, like huge screens everywhere. It looked, you know, more modern and techy. I mean, one of the reasons was that, but also financially it made more sense to have one screen that you can just update the software whenever needed, instead of having to, you know, replace the dashboard. But I'm so glad that some OEMs do bring back buttons. I love a simple button. Can this car actually give you the best from both worlds? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe as well. And if you want to test drive this car, reach out to Vertu and get it booked in. Well, that's it. And I will see you very soon for another car review.